everybody, I'm back with the 430i, and today I'm gonna be sharing my experience of owning this car as a first owner for almost 6 years. So it's a 2020 first registration. It's one of the last ones in production. 430i XDRIVE. It's got the B48 engine, and it now has a little over 140,000 kilometers. I'll be sharing with you details about the spec, about the maintenance, how it drives, things I like about it, things I don't. So let's get into it. Now let's begin with the spec of the car. So this car literally lacks 3 options. It doesn't have a panoramic sunroof, it doesn't have the Harman Kardon, it has the hi-fi sound system, and it doesn't have the 360 cameras. Other than that, it's pretty much loaded. Not individual, of course, but still. So as you can see, it's got the shadow line with the black grills, black everywhere. It's got the adaptive lights, which I personally, once you get used to it, you can live without. Really nice, especially in the dark. Night driving makes it perfect. Now the car originally came with 18-inch M Sport wheels, which I'll put a photo up here. Now it's got the 19-inch, and it's got the stock setup, 225 in the front, 255 in the back, both on the 18 and 19-inch wheel configurations. But to be honest, it drives much better on the 18s. It drives much softer. The 19s are a little bit too harsh for my taste, considering the car is completely stock. But it does handle a bit better with the 19s, of course, as you can imagine. Continuing, of course, it got the full M Sport. It got the stock brakes. Now that's another thing I would like to mention. So it's got a 300mm disc in the back and 312mm in the front. Now this is important here. If you are planning to buy this car and drive it chill, let's say like that, calmly, without pushing it too hard, that's fine. But if you're planning to push the car, I would definitely go for the M Sport brakes, because these really just don't keep up, and the discs bend very easily, they overheat, and you'll spend more money replacing discs on these brakes than just getting the either getting the M Sport calipers, or just better buying a car with the M Sport calipers. From the back, it's got nothing much. I'll put a few audio clips in a bit. I'll show you. Let's begin with the trunk space. Yeah, that happens sometimes. Now, this is one of my favorite things about the car, because it's got a huge trunk. You can really, if you want to haul things, all you gotta do is put the seats down. So as I said, all you gotta do is put the seats down, and you've got way too much room. You basically can hold furniture in here, basically anything you want. Now you gotta be careful, of course, not to scratch things up, but you should be fine. You've got the tailgate that's electronic, which is really nice, and you've also got the automatic one if you got the comfort access spec. It's nice, it's actually helpful, to be honest. Now let's continue with the interior. It's got the, I don't know if it's the base version, but it's got the Alcantara spec. You've got the digital cluster, which also I'm going to show that in a bit, but it's quite nice, I really like it. You've got the frameless windows, which I'm also a big fan of. But personal opinion on this Alcantara, it's honestly amazing. Again, I'm saying the car has a little over 140,000. There is no cracks. The interior is in perfect condition. Of course, the BMW, so the wheel gets a bit oily after time, but again, the car, I would say, is quite well looked after. You've also got the carbon fiber. Originally, you've got it here, and you've got it here. You don't have it on the doors, though. I didn't expect that, to be honest. Got a black headliner. And about the interior, that's pretty much it. The only complaint I have here is the floor mats, which they aged quite bad. but again, you can replace that. It's quite an easy fix. But generally about the quality, of course it creaks a bit, but I would say the quality of the interior is amazing comparing to new cars. But that's about it, to be honest. Nothing too much to share, except that it's in perfect condition. Now continuing with the back seat. Now I love the fact that this car is a 4-door and you can just easily open the rear door, put your jacket, put your bag, whatever, and you can still drive 4 people or 5 people in the car without getting in and out, pulling the seat forward like in the coupe version. But to be honest with you, traveling in here is horrible. The headroom is not enough, the legroom is not enough, especially if you're taller. It's uncomfortable both for the driver and the passenger, because you gotta put your seat forward and stuff like that. It's not amazing, but again, it's 4 doors is 4 doors. In my opinion, it's better than just 2. But as you can see, that's how I drive. I'm about 185 tall. You have space, it's not like you don't, but it's not great. And you can, I don't know if you can tell, the rear seat, it's quite steep. It's not as comfortable to sit in for a long time. But other than that, it's about it. You can frameless doors, very nice. So now I'm gonna show you I'll put some clips of the exhaust, and then we'll take it on a drive. I'll share a bit more about how it drives, transmission, maintenance, so on. Now, before we go on a drive, I'll open the bonnet and I'll tell you about the actual reliability of the engine with 140,000 kilometers. As you can see, it's filthy. I gotta look into that. But now, honestly speaking, this car has done the oil changes. It's maybe 10-15,000 kilometers. But the only problems that there have been with this car is, firstly, which to me is a problem, I guess it's normal to an extent, but it really consumes a lot of oil. You can see, and even now at 140,000, there is something with the charge pipe. I'm not quite sure yet, I haven't diagnosed it, but there is something. And I accept the fact that it burns the oil. And something that's problematic with these cars is that there's no dipstick, as you guys know. You have to check your oil and iDrive, and I would do that very often if I were you, because every once in a while this car used to give you the warning that the oil level is below the minimum. However, the oil burns, doesn't drain, it burns over time, and that leads to the car driving on very little oil, but you'll only get the warning when it's below minimum, which is a problem. But so far there's no concerns. The only time that this car has been to service except for brakes or oil or filters, it was when one of the coolant hoses was ripped or popped off. I have no idea. It was repaired at the dealership and it was a cheap fix, but that's about it. The car overheated, and that's about what happened. But other than that, the car is really solid. No problems. We haven't had problems with the water pump or anything like that so far, let's just say like that. But yeah, otherwise, as I said, brakes, if you drive hard, you're going to replace them often. But spark plugs have been done, but again, that's part of the maintenance. They've been done twice, which, yeah, it's a bit too little. And the other thing that I think is time to upgrade now is the ignition coils, which the car misfires a little bit, even after I did the spark plugs recently. But ignition coils to replace at 140,000 kilometers, that's quite good. I can't say anything about that. So let's go on a drive. I'll tell you more about how it drives and things I like about it and things I don't. So yeah, now we're driving already. Something I want to share is that I like a lot about the car is the adaptive cruise control. As you can see right now, the car's stopping on its own. It's quite nice in traffic. It's honestly one of my favorite things about the car, along with the adaptive lights, of course. The only thing you have to do is just have to click either resume or tap a bit on the gas when the car starts moving. It really can take your eyes off the road a bit, and of course you always have to pay attention, because the only thing I have to complain about this adaptive cruise control is that, let's say this car is about to, if the car moves over and the radar loses the car in front, it might just go full gas into the car that's in front of it. So you always have to pay attention to it. Now about the system, the iDrive system, it's got CarPlay. I didn't need to code it in. Yeah, you've got pretty much everything you need. It's quite simple. Personally, I like the ID4 or ID5, the previous layout of the iDrive more, but this one is, I mean, it's enough. It's got everything you need. Vehicle status. Yeah, got temperature. That I didn't need to code with the Beamer code app. Temperature of the tires, but got pretty much everything you need. Service requirements, but nothing crazy. It's not the most fun. Infotainment system. As you can see here, this dash changes. It's in sport. When you go in sport, it goes red, and eco, it goes blue. Quite nice, because I mean, it's mixed feelings. As you can see now, the cars are going. I just tap on the gas. I'm not doing anything. See, it follows the car in front. You can adjust the distance. But it's quite good. As you can see, it's quite responsive as well. It's not like it's laggy. Now we're driving up to the destination, but to begin with, let's mention about the fuel economy on this car. Honestly speaking, if you're driving hard, this car eats quite a bit of fuel for a 2-liter 4-cylinder, and if you're willing to spend this money, I would go for the 340i or the 440i, whatever, the B48, because I don't think it's gonna eat much more fuel than this one will. But I mean, generally it's okay. I did another video where I was pushing it on some nice roads, and I got 10 per 100, which is decent, but again, I don't think the B58 gets more than that. Let's push it a bit. Now it's been done, not by me, but with this car, it's been done that basically 130 on cruise control will give you about 6 per 100, and you can do 1,000 kilometers on a full tank. Barely, but it can do it, which I was shocked to hear, because I personally have not done that. But again, I should do a video of hypermiling it. But anyways, around the city, if I'm comparing, for example, to a 2-liter diesel, this consumes, I would say, exactly double than that. Let's see, since I left, I haven't driven that much, but as you can see, 16 per 100 around the city. It's gonna go down a bit with driving, but yeah, you don't get less than 12 around the city. I don't think so. It's quite hard. And the other thing is, the car with the sound pushes you to give it gas, so you will pay for fuel. So once again, if you're willing to pay for the fuel, and if you're willing to pay a bit more for the 40i, just go for the 40i. There's absolutely no reason to get a 30i in that case. But again, I really like the car. It handles amazing. It handles better than a 6-cylinder, that's for sure, because of the way that the engine is positioned behind the front wheels. but you can see it's very hard to slide it. Maybe not on this road, but that's also why this car is very good handling wise, because the front kicks in and really there's almost no understeer when you push it around the corners. But I guess we'll see. I'm just hoping we don't catch too much traffic up the hill. But handling is really on point with this car. That's one of my favorite things. But again, if I had to buy this car again, it would be a 430i, and it would be rear-wheel drive. I mean, again, especially in winter, this car is really fun. You don't need to worry about anything in the snow or stuff like that. But the rear-wheel drive is different. It's more fun. This will never slip wheels, not when you launch it, not when anything. I mean, now I'm comparing to my F30 320d, which I would say is much more fun to drive. If you take the sound out of the equation, it's... now, a very important remark I would like to make about the car is the transmission. Now, it has the ZF8, which is of course great for dailying and for fuel economy and stuff like that, but the way that it's tuned from factory is absolutely atrocious. This car needs an XHP yesterday, because look, let's say we're cruising, I put my foot down, 1, 2, it takes hold 2 seconds to downshift, and you can put it in sport, but it doesn't make it 1, 2, and it doesn't even get down to the lowest gear, which is horrible, and I really don't like that at all. If you want fast shifts, you gotta go into manual mode, but again, a nice automatic should be nice in automatic mode as well. But again, it's a the XHP license is about 350 euros, so if you're spending money on a B48, B58, I don't know, actually I'm not sure how the B58 configuration is, but the B48 one, because I've heard from other people as well, it's not great. It's exactly what I'm describing here, very slow shifts. And once again, if I compare to the 320d that I had, that's 5 years older than this car, it came with a very good configuration from factory. Nothing in comparison to this. So that's something to pay attention to. So generally speaking, if you want economy and low fuel, so on, just go for the diesel, especially if you're going for a 4-cylinder. But if you want fun and sound and so forth, it's definitely the way to go. And again, it's got active sound, which really, I mean, it almost sounds like a 6-cylinder at the lower and the higher RPMs. The asphalt here is of course very slippery. Really pulls. I cannot do this with rear-wheel drive, so let's say that's a plus. If you're chasing time and you want to be fast, go for XDRIVE. But it's very responsive. Let's say when you're in manual mode and in Sport Plus, there's almost no delay, very little turbo lag. It's great. Now, and again, let's say about the tunability of this car. Literally with this car is 252, I believe 350 Newton meters. I'm not sure about the Newton meters though, but with just the stage 1, this car pushes around 300 horsepower, and if you continue with that, it's really nice for a car. Now, I was saying that it's really very tunable, very easily tunable if you're willing to do it. Definitely go for it, because you can easily get the B48 power out of this engine, and with very little money into it and just software basically. You can of course do intakes and so on after that, but it's not necessary from the beginning. But yeah, the car drives great. I would love to push it a bit more to show you guys. On a slippery road. Fuel reserve, of course. But again, now as you can see, the car slips, but this is not the road that I would compare. I would make a good comparison with, because on a good asphalt you're never gonna lose this car. There's no way. It's really incredibly stable. But yeah, now it should open up a bit on the right to show you a bit more how it drives. But you can see it has a body roll, but it's not that much, and it just goes where you want it to go. It doesn't do as well quite nicely. Once again, you can see the other video that I did with this car, the road trip. I really did push it there a bit more than that. There wasn't really that much traffic. But yeah, again, it's a great car. I told you all the things I like about it, the things I don't like about it. But you gotta know what you want. If you want a nice car with a decent fuel consumption, with a nice sound, so on and so forth, definitely go for it. In my, just personally speaking, I would go for the rear-wheel drive at the very minimum. If you're willing to tune it and you don't want to go all out money-wise, let's turn around here. Go with this one, because I've got a friend of mine who has the G20, but it's also hybrid. He tuned his car stage 1 and he's making about 450 horsepower out of a B48, which is crazy. Let's see, now we'll push it a bit finally. Slide. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. I hope you enjoyed this video as a buyer's guide, let's call it like that. And yeah, thanks for watching.